Hi, and welcome back to this web development series. Today, we will actually create our first HTML-based web page. So, HTML just defines where a document is laid out, not necessarily how it is presented. And HTML defines how things are formatted using tags like the H tag and the P tag. The H tag is for headers, and the P tag here is for paragraphs. The general structure of defining something's layout will be an opening tag, some stuff in between, and a closing tag. The opening tag defines what kind of markup structure you want, like a paragraph, for example, and the closing tag just ends that layout instruction. And the closing tag will always contain this little forward slash. Now, to start off, you will declare the document as an HTML type. Uh, you do this, like I said, just to inform the web browser about the kind of HTML document. Because in the past, what would happen is you would have to define or declare what version of HTML you're currently using. But then they came along and decided, hey, let's just declare it with HTML, and that will always be the current standard of HTML. So you don't need to, whenever a new version of HTML is released, go back to all your old web documents and change that. Next, you'll add the HTML tags, the opening and closing tags. This just declares that everything inside of these tags will be HTML. Then we can add the header tag, like these, an opening and closing one. And for now, we just add a title into it. You can make it anything you want. I just decided to call it our title. Inside the header tag is also where you can define things like the language the page is in, which can help Google Translate, although it doesn't always work that well. You can link stuff like CSS and JavaScript documents as well. Then you'll add the header tag or the H tag. This just declares like a section header or a paragraph header. You can again make it anything you want. Don't worry too much about the number. I think maximum is something like 6. HTML has a lot of tags. Don't ever really worry about memorizing all of them. I don't really think anyone has all of them memorized. There are some that you'll use quite a lot, and those you'll remember, and the other ones you can pretty much just Google as you need them. Next, you can use the paragraph tag or the P tag, an opening one. Add whatever text you want here. This is just where our normal text goes. And then close it off. Keep in mind that all blank spaces or white spaces will be ignored. Anything other than just a single space will pretty much be ignored. So if you press enter to put text on the next line, it'll pretty much be ignored. That kind of styling we can do with HTML, but we'll cover that later. But in general, we will be using CSS for that. And if you just copy this basic structure, and if everything goes well, you should have a fully functioning web page. So if we just open it, you can usually double click it on most operating systems, and it'll open it in your default web browser. And there we go. Like I said, you can copy that basic structure. You can pause if you want, and do whatever you want with it. Play around with some of the text, play around with some of the headers. You can maybe add a few other headers or type a few longer paragraphs, but just have some fun with it, play around with it, and I'll see you in the next video.